Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host Shubz, and I'm hoping this whole thing is working. Actually, I should have checked that first, shouldn't I? Yeah, I probably should have. Yeah, podcast mic seems to be on. I was on TikTok earlier, and I don't know what was happening, but it wasn't working on TikTok for some reason. But hey, um, again, I don't know what I was gonna talk about. Um, I don't know what to talk about, fam, besides the fact that I feel a bit sad today. I don't know. I just feel a bit down. And that's life sometimes, right? There's peaks, there's valleys, and the pursuit of seemingly to other people unachievable goals and trying to be a better human every day. Also forget that sometimes life is shit. Yeah, sometimes life is shit, man, and I don't know. And sometimes it's good. But I had a cool chat to a sister today about her. She was gonna take her life about April last year, so that's like a month away from when I was attempting to at the time a year ago. Um, and we just both felt like that we understood each other in a lot of ways. Like that, hey, I get you, I get the feeling. I'm not speaking on like suicide because I feel like suicide right now. Yeah, just clearing that up for anybody that is listening. I don't feel that way, or I'm not that way inclined right now. I'm all good. Yeah, I don't know. Right now, my head's just like a bit, a lot of things going on that I can't really talk about on here either. So probably shouldn't have brought it up. But yeah, just sometimes you have those days you feel down, you don't know what to do, if you want to talk, if you don't want to talk, if you should reach out, if you shouldn't. Um, yeah, today's one of those days for me actually, and right now is one of those times, I guess, for me. I'm just sitting here thinking about. I've got a lot of shit that I want to do, as you all know. Anybody that does listen to these things, or two of you, um, yeah. I don't feel sad or drained because of the podcast at all. The podcast is all good. That's actually fun for me. I feel, I don't know. I guess we'll find out in time how what the go is. I guess like when you go to like take your life, people think, oh, you didn't do it. Especially people I think that haven't been in that position, they think you didn't do it, so you must have like you must have got over it like right then and there in that moment. But you don't get over it in that moment. You just don't do it. But you still have that same buzz around you for whatever reason. You don't do it, or you fail at it, which is probably even worse because you still want to. Yeah, why am I talking about that shit? But anyway, if you are listening to this and you do feel like that, fucking reach out, man. Whether it's to your brother, your sister, your mother, whatever. You don't even have to tell them that like about everything. Maybe just tell them that you need help. I'm not really big on counseling either, so like I feel like this is my counseling, doing these kinds of things, talking to a camera, talking to nobody. It sort of was my counseling, I guess. Yeah. Feel a bit sad, eh? Shit. Fuck. Why'd I even push record? But I push record because it's better that whoever listens to this, if they listen to the other ones, they also listen to when I'm not feeling too good. Yeah. Because that's life sometimes. This podcast has been obviously fun, and I'm really enjoying it. And there's nothing to do with the podcast makes me want to feel sad right now. It's not to do with that. It's just life. There's just some shit that I've got going on. Yeah, but I hope it resolves itself soon. Actually, it's a lot of my fault, but that's life. Sometimes you, like a lot of times we might fuck up, wreck things, and whatever reasons. But hey, got to keep showing up. And it's good actually having a dream, having something to pursue, to sort of occupy the mind from those feelings, those thoughts, those, yeah. Oh, actually, on a brighter note, I did have an epiphany the other night, last night with Liquor. Liquor and I had a good yarn, and we had some epiphanies. He had some too. That was dope. If you haven't seen UBU episode 23, Michael Jordan numbers, go and check it out, because I actually feel like it was like a real moment that I realized, not just like one epiphany. I think I might have had 3 epiphanies in that whole time. And I guess to give you a quick overview, I realized in that UBU that just conversating, that I had a conversation with my old man, and that the conversation with my old man, which I've spoken on here a little bit, our relationship has never really been too good. We've been all right over the years, but yeah, it's never been the best. But I realized the other week, shout out to Uncle Pete for jacking it up too, that I was okay. Like with a lot of stuff that I wasn't okay with, and I thought I was okay with, but I actually hadn't let it go. I actually hadn't let the shit go, like about him not being there for me as a kid, all of that kind of shit I held on to. But I actually let it go yesterday, or maybe I let it go in the conversation that I had with him, 20-minute conversation, nothing to do with my upbringing or anything, or him not being there much. But it was just about what he's doing and what he's striving for and what I'm striving for. And I also realized inside of that conversation that him and I are very, very similar in the pursuit of like doing something different and trying to be great at what we want to do, and visualizing something that other people can't see, but having the belief in yourself that you can achieve it. And no matter what, whether you're broken, down and out, alone, still chasing that dream. And my dad's chased a lot of things over the years, and I actually realized that I was a hater for him, like not outwardly too many sometimes, but more to myself, like, oh, he didn't do it. And at the same time, when I think about what I'm doing now and the pursuit of trying to build the biggest podcast in the world, which I'm trying to do now eventually, I was being a fucking hater, just like people are to me. I was doing that to my dad, and that was obviously carrying a lot of trauma from, as they call it. I don't even fucking use that word, but I guess so. Carrying a lot of hurt for him not being there and all of that kind of shit, and broken promises. Because of that shit, I held on to. I became a hater towards my father because of that. Instead of embracing. Oh, shout out to the fucking TV screen. Instead of like embracing the fact that he hasn't never given up on this pursuits that he's had, like to do it. And you know what? Like the journey is more important than the destination. And even if it takes my old man, it's been like nearly 20 years deep, or it has been 20 years deep in this game of him chasing the dream to be a billionaire from the internet. But the key is that he hasn't given up. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I think because I'm not just saying this like never give up, because some people, yeah, I get it, some people should, but like if they haven't been told by the right people, they're like, bro, you're not actually, like, you're actually shit. But then, because some people can be blind and believe that they're good at something, but he's actually really good at shit at the shit that he wants to be good at and that he wants to be. He is great. Like he's put in years, man. Like 10,000 hours. He's done that 10 times over. And there's a lot of, even Leka like mentioned that, oh, there's a lot that you have that my dad does that like I probably have too, like that tenacity, like, and yeah, like instead of hating on the fact that, because there's been periods where he's done really well. Pride flower pansexual. I don't know what that means, Kirk. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that, Ellie. You too. And yeah, nah, there's been times where my dad's like actually cracked it, like, and actually like cracked it, and I've been like, fuck, good on you, brother. You know, like, and then for whatever reason he didn't carry on with that. But me being like, fuck, you know, he didn't crack it. He didn't make it happen. He didn't achieve it. Ha ha ha. Or like, oh, here's another idea. Or I literally even said this to my uncle at the start of the year, like when I was trying to get my dad to come jump on the podcast, because he is a good yarn. He's a good person to talk to. Like he can chat, and he's very ideas and very, you know, he's funny. He's funny. He's got the gift of the gab. And he sort of turned me down and said, pretty much not right now. I'm like all in on this thing that I'm into. And I'm thinking, you've been into this shit forever. Like, what are you up to? You know what I mean? But then I seen him. This has been 6 months on from when we had that conversation, nearly 5 months on. And he's actually doing it. And not only that, but I had the conversation with him at the same time that I was doing this. And he had said to me, he had seen a little bit on YouTube because my Uncle Pete had showed him. Shout out to Uncle Pete. Everybody knows Uncle Pete. He's Mind the Mic podcast alumni right there. So Uncle Pete and him are best friends. That's how he's my uncle. You know, he's my dad's best friend. But he's more like, he's one of my good mates too. Like he's fucking a legend. And like you will see him on here, and when we travel the world and all of that kind of stuff through the podcast, he'll be with us. You know, he'll be doing shit with us. Maybe even get him to do some skits or whatever. I think he's pretty keen. Like, and he's opened up a lot being on this journey because he's quite a quiet guy. Real observer and a protector, which I am too, but not the quiet one. Still a protector, but yeah. Anyway, I realized in speaking to the old man like that, him and I spoke about it at the start of the year, and I said what I'm doing and what I'm going to create, or started creating, and he said what he's up to. And then I thought, oh, you know, shit, like he didn't want to make time. And I was being that little kid again, being like, you don't want to make time for me. You know what I mean? But it was then actually, that's not actually the case. Like he believes that if he can achieve this, like he'll have all the time in the world to do other things. You know what I mean? So, and I should just looked at it through that lens of like, because I'm tenacious and I don't give up on things. Like if I really apply myself and really believe in myself, which I will to this podcast until it becomes the biggest in the world, even if I'm fucking 60 years old when it happens, man, you know, I'm hoping that it's not 60 years old. I'm hoping it happens 5, 10 years, whatever. But if it is, then it is, you know. The cool thing is I really enjoy this. I really enjoy conversating with other people more than I do doing these, but I feel like these are important to do. But yeah, so I had the conversation with my old man, and not about my upbringing, not about any of that trauma bullshit, whatever. It was just literally about what he's doing and what I'm doing 5 months on from when we had the conversation on the phone about it, and me trying to get him on the podcast, and him saying, not right now, I'm all in on this thing right now. It's taking up all my time besides the time I have with your siblings, my younger siblings. And I was like, sweet. And then I sort of said to my uncle, I was like, yeah, fucking AI or whatever he's up to, you know, blah, 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 meh, you know, sort of thing. And then when we sat there and had that conversation, and I was like, fuck, like he's actually doing this one. And out of all the ideas I've heard from my dad over the years, and this is a man that before Facebook existed, he had the idea for Facebook. Before YouTube existed, he had the idea for YouTube. Before PH, you know, the P Hub, the Corn Hub existed, he had like he had that shit in his mind, whether he's too late or too early and didn't know how to manifest it, or maybe people even stole it. I don't know, but he's a very brilliant man, and I know these things. So just because things didn't work or didn't happen before doesn't mean they can't achieve it. So I said, I just said to I just had that conversation, and then I seen that what he was doing and what we're doing here on Mind the Mic, they can help each other, vice versa. And so I went away from that conversation 20 minutes in. Me and Uncle Peter, we're on the way out of there. We leave, and I sort of have an epiphany then, but I don't realize I'm having an epiphany. But I was like, you know what, Unks, like, if he actually cracks this, and it's not for me, like, I honestly could care less whether I got 1 cent or no cents, you know what I mean? Or, you know, from what he does, I don't feel like I'm owed anything. I just want to see him achieve it, and like just finally prove everyone wrong that doubted him, me included at times. And I just said to him, you know what, Unks, like if he actually cracks this, he'd be the like definition, the epitome of never giving up, of pursuing your dream no matter what it is, and no matter what people say, no matter how much time. And don't get me wrong, there's probably been plenty of distractions throughout that period that have got him, that have stopped him from, maybe hindered the progress as well. But the fact that he's just, I don't know, I feel like he's in a good space headwise, and yeah, that 20-minute conversation, I just was like, wow. Anyway, I'm talking to Leka yesterday, and I don't even realize I've had that epiphany, but we start talking about it because he brings up the fact that him and his dad, his father and him, how they reconnected because they had a similar relationship. His father wasn't around that much when he was a kid, and yeah, his father wasn't around when. Yeah, exactly. Curve. That's what I probably do get a lot of that from him, but I just don't acknowledge it. But yeah, 100. Very innovative, and like, if we combine our minds together, who knows what we could do? You know what I mean? Like literally. But it also shows where it comes from, right? It comes from somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, Leka talks about their relationship as him and his father's relationship, and they and how he was similar. He just hated his dad, angry all the time, wanted to fight him, all this. But he sort of, how he sort of got rid of that sort of feeling and buzz, and he was a lot younger than I was, but when he obviously did that and pushed that aside. But yeah, and then when hearing him say that, it made me realize that I had just, one, I thought I had already got over heaps of shit from when I was a kid, but then I realized, like, I think it was on the last episode or one of these POVs when I was fucking going on about him, and there's been plenty throughout these podcasts where I've gone on about him, like about me being a kid, blah blah blah. Now I don't have that, like I don't have that feeling anymore when it comes to my old man. Like literally, it's gone. Yeah. It's crazy. Well, you know what's crazy, Curve, when you say that, very, very much like your dad. Yeah, when people used to say that to me when I was younger, I used to get so angry. So angry, man. And I still want to fight people because of it. And I did sometimes, you know, my own uncles, man. But I'm growing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the person I was like fucking when I was a kid, and I'm not the person I was last year. I'm probably not even the person I was last week, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ever growing, or trying to grow, trying to learn, trying to get better. You know what I mean? And that showed me that yesterday, realizing that, oh, I just let go of all that shit that I had for my old man that I thought I had already let go of, but I never yesterday. Or in that conversation, and after that conversation, and having that conversation with Uncle. And Uncle's a man of few words usually, like when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's just like, yeah, or, but he was like, something like, he was like, yeah, hard, or some, not hard, but whatever he said, it was like an agreement. Want to fight you? Nah, never, Curve. You'll beat me up. Everybody beat me up now. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Well, trying to be. Nah, we always fight, like if we have to, but for the right reasons. But yeah, this is crazy. And then another, not epiphany I had, but something that I revealed to Leka, to everybody that was listening, and everybody that listens forever, that because it was on UBU episode 23. Let It Go also is the name of the episode. It's the if you're in Spotify right now, it'll be 2 episodes down from this one right now. But in that, I said to the Oos, I was like, Oos, you know, I used to visualize, And I've always had these memories, but I never said it out loud to anyone until yesterday, when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, fucking all of my life, even like in my 20s, 30s, I've had moments where like real vivid moments that, like, even now thinking of them, are like, makes the hair stand up, makes the goosebumps come up, of me standing on standing on a stage in front of thousands of people. Not for like, yeah, this is like, I want to be like famous, but I just always did it. Like, I'd always find myself sitting there, and like, younger days, I thought it might be football. It wasn't in like kapahaka sort of style. It was literally talking. I thought it might have been rapping for a little bit of there. Anybody that doesn't know, I used to, do a little couple of raps back in the days, but yeah. Yeah, but like, so there's been different moments in life where I've thought this could be it, this could be it. And even the TikTok thing, when we'd have like 10,000 in the room, you think, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this 10, 20,000 people in the room is that moment of stage. So I was visualizing, but I remember telling myself, I am meant to be here. I am great. I am made for this. And I don't know why I said that to myself. And when I'm 5, 6, 7, I couldn't really speak English, so I was probably saying it in Maori or like the equivalent or something similar. Koi te tangata or whatever, koi te toa, whatever. I don't know, some shit like that. I was literally saying this shit, and with what we're doing and what the plan is and the way this thing is moving, eventually that's gonna be the case. Like, unless I fall over and die someday, it's literally gonna be the case. It's gonna be, and there's the man himself there. It's gonna be us on stage talking to thousands of people, and the man in there, he'll be with me. Maddie will be with me. Fucking Uncle Pete too, which would be crazy. Like, to see Uncle Pete, the guy that just observes and looks after people from the corner, and if someone needs a crack, you give them one, but like only for the right reasons, and always looking after the ladies and all of that stuff. I feel like they don't talk much. To see him on the stage with us, like Leka and I feel like Leka was made for that too. Like, he's made to entertain, even for Maddie, because like, but then I feel like she was also made to entertain. She might not believe it in herself, but I feel like she is, because she has a lot of funny things to say, a lot of interesting things to say, a lot of things that I probably fucking, just because we're so close as friends, I probably cut her off too much, which I've got to get better at. I know, for sure. And starting today, I will. But it's just more, and it's more. I think it's more the comfortability that we have, because we've been homies for a long time, and that I sort of, and my brain just races, and I'm just like, it's like when we're talking. But yeah, she has a lot to offer the world, and she may not believe it in herself, but I believe it for sure. Lex, made to entertain. He's hilarious. He's a muso. He's a muso. He's got skills too, but he's hilarious as a human being. But yeah, the fact that I actually said that shit out loud, that I've never said to anybody ever, like no baby mama, no fucking girlfriend, no nothing, like nobody ever, no bros, my brother who I've told most things to. I never said that to anybody, but on that podcast yesterday, that I used to visualize standing on a stage and talking to thousands of people. But this is what it's going to be, fam. It's going to be on a podcast, and it might be 1,000 people, but it's going to happen. It might be, I know that's going to happen, because we're built for this, and like, this is all I want to do. I don't want to fucking. This is what I want to do. I just want to talk, man. I just want to talk to people, listen to people, make people laugh, say what up to people, bring smiles to people's faces. I even want to piss people off, because if you piss people off, that means you're like challenging their perspectives, right? And I want people to fucking challenge mine. And I want to look back. I want to look back in 20 years' time, look back at these episodes and say, fuck, I'm not that person anymore. Like, but because I've grown, and fuck, like, we've come a long way. I know a lot of people cringe at looking at their old stuff, like when they crack it and become successful, and I'm sure I probably will too. But maybe I won't, because I understand that's the journey, the progression to get there. And also maybe I won't because from the jump, I'm built for this, baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an accident to be here. Sure, there's training, there's lessons. I got a comment that came through the other day that was like, "Oh, Shubz, you need to sharpen, you need to get better at interviewing or something like that." And then I was like, "This is meant to be educational." So I was like, "Who the fuck said it was meant to be educational?" Like, it's a whole thing of me even being called a role model. Like, who in the fuck said I'm a role model? Cause, like, if people are inspired to do what I do because they've never seen it before, then solid. You know what I mean? Like, or because like they see someone that's brown doing it too, and they're brown, or even they white, whatever. Doesn't even matter. Or they're ching. Oh, get done for that fucking word. But like, I ain't no role model, cuz. And if you're looking for me to be a role model, cuz, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'll talk to people and I'll do speeches if I have to, whatever, like, not if I have to, but like if people want me to, I don't mind. But I'm just gonna give it from my perspective, my understanding, and my journey. I'm not gonna tell you how the fuck to be or who to be. Be you. You know what I mean? No fucking role model, cuz, like, I don't, like, even when there's 10 million downloads a month, like, I'm still just me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I felt I had to do this because, like I said, I felt sad when I started. I feel better now. Has what's going on changed? No, but I feel better just releasing it anyway. Yeah, it's been good. Shout out to the epiphanies, and may they be achieved. The visualizations that, I am meant to be here. I am great. I am born for this. May all those things that you strive for, may they come to fruition. But the only way that shit happens is if you do it, man. I heard a fucking dope quote today by the bro Sam Harvey, and he said, he said to me, for his like advice to people out there. And this is a guy who he ran like 300 kilometers on the weekend, and like he's like the fifth best fucking ultra marathon runner in the whole world. Like, he's a Kiwi fellow who only started around 2017, but he actually fully got into it in 2021. So only 3 years he's been serious about the sport, and he's the fifth best in the world. A sport where you literally be running, like, they do things where they run every hour on the hour for as many loops as they can until someone taps out. And his mentality, shout out Sam Harvey, his mentality is just like that he's used the bullying that he received as a child to make him better. Like, and I looked at that, I was like, fuck yeah, like, to fuel him, there's a whole lot of fuck you inside of him, like, I'll prove you wrong. Fuck. And if you've got that, like, if you've been bullied and been told you can't do anything, or your fucking parents abused you and told you can't be, or whatever, or they said you're shit cunt in there, bro, use that as fuel, G. Don't fucking go in the fucking dirt with it. Grab that shit and run with it and say, I'll fucking show you. Even if it's your mother, your father, doesn't mean you don't love them, but it just means, like, I won't believe what you're saying to me. And I've just shifted another epiphany I had. Sorry, before I do go, I had a perspective shift on on the fact that I always used to think that telling myself I'm shit was the way that I would like achieve shit, and I used to achieve shit that way. But I realize now that it's toxic, and I thought people that said it was toxic was just pussy. Because even talking to Sam Harvey, even though he has a lot of fuck you in him, all he tells himself when he's like on the fucking 100th lap, on the 300th K, and because on the races that he does, these backyard ultras anyway that he does, the dude next to him, one of them two have to give up. You stop once you do one loop after the last one taps out, or if he doesn't complete, because you just go, and if you don't complete it in an hour, that loop, gone. So he has to wait. He has to keep going, like, for fucking, whatever, however many loops he did, 300 and something Ks. He's doing it, fucking hours and hours straight, waiting for this fella to put out around the same track, G. And like, he's just like, and all he's telling himself is, you got this, Sam, like, stuff like that, keep going, boy, you got this. Like, Wow, because I've got that fucker in me too. The like I'll prove you wrong, but I use the prove you wrong and also push the negative of like I'll prove you wrong, and then also telling myself I'm shit, I'm shit, I'm shit, but like making me like I'm proving myself wrong. But he's right. Put those thoughts, flip those thoughts, and change that perspective. Put it into overdrive, man, and tell yourself you're fucking great, man. Like, and I used to as a kid, and I had another conversation with the same sister today that talked about suicide earlier that I spoke on, Misty K, and she said we need to go back to our little kids, and you know she's got a photo of her younger self, and when she feels like down and out or she feels like abusing her younger self, she goes back there, she grabs that photo and says like, would I say these things to her, and if it's not, if she wouldn't say that shit to her, then she won't say it to herself. Like, yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah. Because that's a lot of shit that I have to do, I guess. Like, and actually, shout out to Shubz if you're listening, Shubz. Because Shubz did tell me to do that. And I was like, meh. But yeah, I do. Heal that inner you, heal that younger self, man. If you can go back to the places that the younger self was hurt, go there. But you can also do it visually, right? You can also do it, you just visualize it. You can, or they what astro travel, whatever it is, do that if you believe in it or whatever. But fucking go and have a yarn to that younger one and say it's all good. Like, I got heaps more yarning to do to my younger self, because even yarns that I got to do to myself last year. Yeah. But the key is that we are doing it, right? We're keen and we're learning. But yeah, fucking stay positive, hey? Fuck, you know what? I just flipped it and I just realized I was doing that at the start when I got on here. I was like, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. Yeah, because I was speaking that, eh? I was actually speaking that on myself. What the fuck? I'm good. Don't get me wrong. I still am like have that situation going on that I don't want to talk about. But yes, also be our biggest fan. But hey, it's gonna be all good. Whatever the outcome is, whether the outcome goes in the favor that I hope it goes, or the outcome ends up in the way I hope it doesn't go, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's easy to say right now, but either way, I'm still on a mission with my squad to build the biggest podcast in the world. I'm still on a mission to try and be a better dad. I'm still on a mission to be a better human being, man. So and partner and all those things. So yeah. Speak to our inner selves, our younger selves, sorry, that child. Look after that inner child. Go back and talk to their younger self. Let go of things, fam. Shit. Like, but let go of things and actually analyze and see, have you really let go of it? Because if you get an ego up about, or if you get like, if you arc up about certain things from things that you think you've let go of, you probably haven't. And that's me talking to myself like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Anyway, proud of us all, Mozo. Proud of you too, my brother, daily. Proud of you too, Curve. You've survived a lot. Proud of everybody that's listening, watching, wherever you are watching, whatever platform. I got so much love, so much admiration for everybody that's out there chasing their dreams, for everybody that's out there learning and growing and not being stuck in the past. We can't change what's happened, but we can learn and grow. And yeah, I've done things that I regret. I don't regret actually, because if I regret them, that means I'll go back and change them. But there's things that I wish I could do better going forward. You know what I mean? And if the opportunity present themselves, I will do better going forward. There's times I'm confused. I don't understand. I take the wrong path. But hopefully I get another shot at that. But if you don't, I guess that's life. Anyway, this has been a long POV, but I love you guys. Anybody that is listening, appreciate you. Anybody that's out there watching, anybody that hears this for years to come, I'm grateful always. Make sure you do, as the video suggests, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please. We want to do this, and we want to do this for a long time, but we want to do this to the point where we can, come and see you guys in different countries and wherever you are. And that only happens if you subscribe, share it out, and help our little thing grow. Yeah. But even if you're listening and you don't do it, somebody else will. Appreciate you.